Diving into my collection, this is my Alpha 1993 homage Omega Seamaster 90s Bond version, no helium escape. You still got the wavy pattern with this, and of course an aluminum bezel. Alpha, I've talked about this brand out of Hong Kong. There's a number of homage Rolex and Explorer watches. I think these are some great value if you don't have enough money to buy the original. This is pretty much the same measurements as the Omega. Diameter 41 millimeters, lug to lug is 48 millimeters. With the bracelet, these links, it comes out to 54 meters if you have a smaller wrist. That's to note. I'll talk about that in a minute. Height, probably without the dome crystal 13 millimeters, with the dome crystal 15. And lug width is 20 millimeters. So if you can get a good close-up on the dial. Applied markers, again you got that bond hands, wavy dial. This is of course the black. Alpha does make a blue and a green version with matching bezel insert. I've owned this since 2011, so it's going strong on 6 years this year, next month. I think it's a great value. Again, it's an homage. You get brushed overalls, mainly brush case, polished line there, kind of quality. It's great quality, I think, for a Chinese homage watch, better than the Paneras. I don't know if the light's picking this up, but you will see some kind of uneven line on the polish and brush layers. Other piece on quality, when you remove the bracelet, you'll notice that the case where the bracelet meets the case is not brushed or polished. It's just like bare metal. Take a look at the back. You get the Alpha with the wavy pattern. Bracelet, this is pretty decent, decent bracelet. This is what turned me on to this watch. It does kind of mimic the the Bond style bracelet. I have put tape on it. You get a Alpha etching. Put a clear tape on it just to kind of prevent the scratching from the being a desk diver. I do have a problem with this kind of divers or extension. It's kind of hard to have it stay. You have to kind of like go like that and then fold it in, and then it stays. But overall, this is a decent bracelet for what you're paying, around $85. And it just popped out again. Wearability, if you see my past videos, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist. This is probably pushing the size limit I like to wear, but it wears well. If you probably have the original Omega, it probably wears the same. It's kind of a sloping bezel, so it's really great on the cuff. It's this is probably my third or fourth diver of all of them. This wears the best under a cuff going to work. Just talking a little more about the watch. It is a mineral crystal. I believe it's a seagull Chinese movement. I think this is a great movement, for what you're paying for. It's really quick to change the time. I love how fast that is. I'll do work trips and fly between time zone, and it's so great, so quick to set it. As you can see, this is it hacks, being the second hand stops when you pull fully out to set the time, and it also hand winds. You know, no problem with this movement. Keeps pretty good time within 5 to 10 seconds. You know, that's acceptable to me. Somewhat loud rotating bezel. Little play. The crown is not signed, but it screws in and out very well. No problems at all. Applied markers on the dial. If you do notice one con, the 12 o'clock, those are a little uneven the way they're applied. Loom, it does have loom. This is the older design. It doesn't have loom on the hands, just at the very tip of the hand, but not the actual length. You can charge it up, but will not last through the night. So without that bracelet, this, again, my 6 3/4 inch wrist, it wears better without the bracelet, and I'd say 90% of the year it's off bracelet, and either on this or on the leather. And there it is on a leather band. And again, this is a good fit for me. Keeps it look. It is, you know, it does take up the whole width of my wrist from lug to lug, but it wears great. It's a good watch. I like it. Challenges I've had. First, probably within the first month of owning this, I placed it on a rock for like an outdoor picture for a watch forum, and it fell off the rock. Probably about 5 feet, landed face down on gravel. It's probably not picking up well, but I got chips along the face or along the mineral crystal. On one of my swimming pool outings, I came up from the deep end and the actual bezel insert fell off. I'll try to find a picture and link that. So one of my kids actually dove all the way down and found it, so I glued it back on. I did not line it up very well at the 12 o'clock position, so it's a little off. And then the third thing I've had with this, you know, is admiring, probably in year 4 or 5, I was admiring it in the sunlight. I actually got a free upgrade on first class, like, man, this looks great in the sunlight. And then I noticed it was just foggy, fog on the inside of the dial, or on the inside of the crystal. Talked to some people on the watch forums, Caveman watch forum, and I eventually removed the case back, pulled the stem out, the crown out, removed the dial, and then cleaned it with a some kind of lens cleaner or acetone on the inside of it. And that's my quick watch review. Let me know if you have any questions. You know, feel free to make a comment of what you think about homage watches. Is this a good value in your opinion? Do you have one? I'll also put a link to the other Alpha I own, a Alpha Explorer. I reviewed that last week. Thanks for watching.